Hello, my name's John with 8Asians again, and thank you, Jay, for making the time out of your busy schedule, from your campaign schedule, to spend a few minutes to talk a little bit about your campaign. So if you could introduce yourself a little, that would be great.
Sure. And John, it's great to be back on 8Asians. It's been
10 years.
10 years,
Since,
a decade. And
yeah.
you look younger than before. I don't know what your secret
Hardly,
is.
yeah. It must be some Korean skin cream or something.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Tell me your secret. Yeah. So I'm Chen. I'm a lieutenant commander in the Navy Reserves, a community college trustee, and a former school board member, father to a 6-year-old and an 8-year-old, both boys, and I'm running for Congress in California's 45th Congressional District in Orange County. It's considered one of the most competitive races in the country. I was a first-round red to blue candidate, and this will be, a very exciting race for everyone to watch.
Great. Thanks for that background. And so right now you're running against first-term Congresswoman Michelle Steele, and she's a Republican, and
Right.
Prior to redistricting, she had won her election back in 2020. So I'm wondering if you could tell me a little bit about the dynamics of the new district, as well as some background about her term and policies that you're running against.
Sure. So this district is one of the most AAPI in the entire country. It was drawn to be an Asian influence seat. 37% of the voters are AAPI, and 20% are Latino. We've got little India in the district, Cerritos and Artesia. Of course, Cerritos and Fullerton and Buena Park. We have large Chinese, Taiwanese, and Korean communities. And we also have Little Saigon, the largest Vietnamese community in one congressional district is right here. So as you can tell, this is a very, very interesting district, and it needs representation that really reflects its values. It needs leadership that reflects its values, and that's absolutely not Michelle Steele.
Right, and Michelle Steele is a immigrant Korean American, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so this is kind of an unusual case that you don't often see, where you have a, for lack of a better phrase, Asian on Asian race.
Yeah.
And it's quite a diverse mix of Asian Americans in that congressional district, as you had mentioned.
Yeah.
And I think you had noted that there's a good percentage of the overall Asian mix that's Vietnamese. I was wondering if you could just maybe elaborate a little bit more on that, because I know Vietnamese tend to generally vote more on the Republican or conservative side.
So this district actually voted for Biden by 6 points in 2020, and it has a 5-point Democratic registration advantage. In 2016, this district voted for Hillary Clinton by 13 points.
Okay.
So it's true, the first generation Vietnamese Americans tend to register as Republicans. But the younger generation is definitely very, very democratic. And also, I believe that a lot of the Vietnamese, they will vote for the person, not necessarily the party.
Sure.
And given my background as a Navy reservist, having served in the Middle East, on the Korean Peninsula, and currently with 7th Fleet, which is the fleet that actually helped to rescue a lot of the Vietnamese refugees after the fall of Saigon, I believe that my background will really resonate with these voters.
No, that's terrific. I know that obviously Asian American community is not a monolith, and there's quite uniqueness to each different community and such. So obviously there are differences between you and Michelle's policies. I was wondering if you could articulate them, especially around abortion, because I most recently in doing some light research that Michelle Steele, she's quite conservative when it comes to the issue of abortion, and abortion has, really, I think, ignited the, especially young women to come out and register to vote. We've had the most recent Kansas surprise, but I was wondering if you could go into a little bit more detail on that.
Yeah, so after the overturn of Roe v. Wade, I think a lot of voters were upset. It's just unfathomable to me that there are little girls today who have less rights than what their grandmothers grew up with. and Michelle Steele, supported the overturn of Roe v. Wade. And she actually supports a federal ban on abortion with 0 exceptions. She's a co-sponsor of the Life at Conception Act, which would abolish abortion even in California. It would override whatever protections that we have in California. And she does not support exceptions to that because that bill simply doesn't allow for it. And she's going to try to moderate or try to walk back her position like a lot of Republicans are, but we've got the receipts. That's what she supports. She's an extremist. In addition to that, her views are completely out of line with Californians. She actually brags in an interview about how she pulled her daughter out of school for brainwashing because her daughter dared to support gay marriage and supported Barack Obama. And we know that the Supreme Court is now going to take a look at gay marriage. Now they've overturned Roe v. Wade. They're going to go after gay marriage. And we know that she's going to vote to abolish gay marriage as well because she's just that extreme. And we can walk down a whole litany of her policy positions: voted against the Violence Against Women's Act, voted against capping insulin at $35 per shot, and voted against all of the bills that have helped to keep our schools, our police, and our fire departments funded.
No, that's, like you said, she sounds kind of out of touch with a lot of Californians and those in Orange County. Another topic that I was interested in is, I know that you're interested in gun safety and reform, and it's kind of interesting because given the whole AAPI hate, Asian hate, there has been a slight uptick in, I think, Asian Americans purchasing firearms, but I have to imagine that, I am in support of the Second Amendment for, those who, go through the procedures and really have training, and you are trained on weapons yourself, being a Navy officer. So I was wondering if you could just talk a little bit about your gun rights and gun safety policy.
Yeah, so Asian Americans have not felt safe for the last couple of years because of the spike in anti-Asian hate crimes that occurred because of Donald Trump. Let's just be frank. And Michelle Steele has never condemned Trump for inciting this hate against the community. In fact, she defends Trump all the time. She was the only member of Congress to greet Trump when he came to visit California to tour his ridiculous border wall. So, she even begged Katie Porter to allow her to co-sponsor a bill on anti-Asian hate, and then she turns around and she mocks Katie Porter and apologizes to the Republicans for co-sponsoring that bill. So she's completely disingenuous when it comes to the issue of anti-Asian hate. She's going to try to weaponize it and try to, make herself seem like, she's on that issue, but she's not. And I've actually attended rallies, spoken at rallies. The very first rally against hate in Los Angeles, I was invited to go speak at. I was one of the few elected officials to recognize that this was an important thing that we had to galvanize around. And I've spoken at several others since then, because it's important to show your face. But we have to do more than that. And as a federal representative, I want to make sure that the Asian American community is heard. I want to make sure that we build a museum on the National Mall that celebrates AAPI contributions to our great country. And I want to make sure that when we are funding, these fire departments, police departments, public safety, that we're also making sure that law enforcement takes anti-Asian hate seriously, that it gets prosecuted.
Right. Yeah, that's definitely been an issue in the San Francisco Bay Area, San Francisco specifically, with Chelsea Bodine specifically being recalled as the attorney district attorney in San Francisco. So it's Asians do want to be seen, and it's great that.
I'll mention, I was actually at a rally in Diamond Bar where a bigot drove through the crowd, almost hitting these rally goers, and then yelling out anti-Asian, anti-black slurs. Got out of his car to do so, and he was later caught. But he wasn't prosecuted. He claimed that he was fearing for his life, and the DA refused to prosecute him. And that to me doesn't make any sense whatsoever.
Right. So my last question is really around just the state of the race. I mean, it's Labor Day weekend, and November is literally just right around the corner, a few months away. I was wondering if you could just elaborate a little bit more and where they can find more information to learn about your campaign.
Sure, so we're active on all social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. You can visit our website, chenforcongress.com, and there are ways for you to volunteer to support our race. This is one of the critical races. If you want the Democrats to control the House, if you want to prevent Kevin McCarthy from taking the gavel and agendizing a national ban on abortion, then this is a race that we absolutely have to win. And even if you don't live in the district, you can do phone banking from wherever you are. You can do postcarding. We have text banking as well. There's so many ways that you can get involved in this critical race. And if you're from California, just know that we've got great rights here. We've got great state leadership. But all of that can be overridden with a simple Republican majority in the House. And we simply cannot afford that.
Well, thank you very much for your time. I know you've been very busy campaigning, and best of luck in your race, and look forward to seeing the results in November.
Thank you, John.
Thank you.